I do is in addressing issues, environmental issues, in particular with the community, a huge environmental issue is trash. So if we take a look down here in this creek, you'll see there is so much trash. There's single-use plastic beverage containers. There's styrofoam, lots of styrofoam. And styrofoam is particularly concerning environmental hazard because it breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces until you have individual beads, and then it becomes microplastics. And those are associated with harmful effects on aquatic species, on water quality, on soil, on land species, and in human beings. So a lot of these takeout places serve hot drinks and hot food in styrofoam containers, and that is associated with leaching of harmful chemicals, and so people are consuming those chemicals. One of the things I advocate is, if you can, reduce or stop going to fast food restaurants until they start to use alternative materials. If you do go, talk with the manager and say, I like coming here, but I really wish you would stop using these styrofoam containers, and give them a brief explanation for why. So if we look again here, this is all part of the Greenville Run Creek system that goes through Greenville. So a lot of this gets in here because of littering and also because of stormwater. All of this, if it doesn't get caught on the banks, it goes into the tar river, and this ends up in our water treatment plant. Well, it can end up there after it's already broken down into microplastics. So the more of this we have, and there's just massive pollution on the Tar River, the more of this we have, the greater the load there is to provide clean water to the community. So stop and think about how important clean water is. So my message is, this is cleaning this up, stopping this kind of littering and trash accumulation. It's up to all of us because it's about the water. Ultimately, it's about the water. But it's also those things I mentioned before, like harmful to aquatic species, harmful to the soil, harmful to land species. It gets in the air, it gets in our bodies. So this is what we're faced with. Now today I'm out here, it's about 40 degrees and windy, so it's cold here in Greenville, North Carolina. But I want to show you the equipment that I have that the Resource Center has provided. So this is a little ring around the trash can so I can easily get things in there. Here's my picker-upper. I have neoprene booties like scuba divers use to put inside my waders, because I'll have to get right in there in that really cold water. I'll get in the water. I have these hazardous materials industrial gloves that if I weren't wearing this heavy coat, these would go all the way up to my shoulder. So these are helpful. I can reach down in the water and get things that I'll need. And while I'm here today, I'll also collect a water sample, and I'll take that back to my lab and start doing just some basic sampling. If there's anything of concern, then there are other people at ECU that can do a more sophisticated test. So let's get started. Get ready to actually get in somewhere and clean up the trash, kind of prepare myself to be in a meditative state, because for me, this is almost a spiritual practice. It's a way of showing respect and love for this incredible, incredible environment and planet that we live in. So it's, I'm usually quiet, and I'm just like immersed in doing something really good, getting this trash out of where it doesn't belong.
You can see here, I'm down in the water, getting the work done. There's a big piece of styrofoam. I don't know where that came from, but I usually find some kind of strange things when I'm cleaning up. Seems like often there's toys in there somehow. But wow, look at that mess. Again, this area acts as a natural trash trap. There's the way that the creek bends right there. A lot of organic matter collects. And I can repeatedly go to this spot and do a cleanup. It seems particularly bad on this day, but you're going to see me kind of scooping up a lot of the organic matter. And like right here, what I'm trying to do is get those little pieces of plastic. There's not plastic, but styrofoam. There's some little pieces of plastic too. But a lot of those little individual beads of plastic. So here's a dog toy somehow in there. There was a flip-flop in there. See, you can see so much styrofoam. And this is just one side of the bank. Usually on the other side of the bank, there's also trash collected, and then up on the ground above the creek bed, somehow a lot of trash tends to collect there. This is in a pretty, oh yeah, that's a nasty plastic bag in there. There's that dog toy and flip-flop. There it is, cleaned up, looking much better. Got as much of that styrofoam out of there as I could. And so there's the result of today. It might not look like a lot, but there's a lot of little things in there. And this is collecting the water samples. So I hold it in there 30 seconds in order to get the temperature. And then I'll bring it home, and I've got a little tiny laboratory here at home where I do the testing that I do and submit the data so that it can be looked at by other people on the team.